Leather is an excellent material for making a prosthetic device wearable, comfortable, and effective. It can protect the skin from plastic, metal, nylon, and Velcro, and distribute the bearing load of a device over a larger area of the user's body. To make a leather bracer that is a good fit for your client, you will need to take good measurements. The 3 measurements needed are 1. The size of the wrist, 2. The size of the forearm, and 3. The distance between the wrist and the forearm. Locating the wrist measurement. If the client's ulna is complete, locate the ulnar styloid process, or the USP. The USP is a small bony hill on the pinky side of the wrist. Mark the wrist measurement at the proximal base of the USP, so that the bracer does not cover it. If a client's limb does not have a wrist, just be sure that material, and especially rigid material, does not cover any bony processes. Locating the forearm measurement. While a longer bracer is generally recommended, make sure that the client can maintain a full range of motion without impinging any nerves or blood vessels. The hands-on method of measurement. If you have access to the client or to a casting of the affected limb, measure the wrist circumference, the forearm circumference, and the length of the bracer, using a tailor's tape or a string and a ruler. This is called the hands-on method of measurement. The photo method of measurement. If you only have an overhead photo of the client's arm, you can open it up in Augenmaß. Augenmaß is an HTML page that opens your default web browser. Click the Browse button to select an image. The first measurement you take sets the scale for subsequent measurements. Start by clicking 2 points on the ruler. Now double-click the number you see and type in the length of that line as indicated on the ruler. Next, click to form lines that define the wrist width, the forearm width, and the bracer length. Record those values. This is called the photo method of measurement. Now plug the 3 values into the bracer stencil formula sheet, which is linked in the video description. You may need to make your own copy of the document to be able to input your own values. If you measured around the arm, use the hands-on method. If you used a photo, use the photo method. Once you enter the 3 inputs, you will see 3 new values: origin to wrist, origin to forearm, and the angle in degrees for the bracer. Next, make a stencil. You will need a piece of heavy paper or cardstock, a roll of painter's tape, some thread, a long ruler, a protractor, a pencil, and a pair of scissors. Draw a straight line down the middle of the paper across the width. Now make a small mark crossing the line close to one edge of the page. Tape the paper down to a table or on the floor. Now, starting from the small mark, measure out the origin to forearm length and make a mark on the table. Next, start from that mark and measure the origin to wrist length. Make a mark on the paper, crossing the center line. Tie the string to the tip of the pencil. Hold the string against the origin and pull the pencil tip out to the inner mark. Make an arc. Then pull the pencil out to the outer mark and make another arc. Use a protractor at the origin to measure the angle for the bracer. Measure half of the angle on either side of the center line. Now use the tape roll or another cylinder to round off the corners and make the bracer more comfortable. Now cut out the stencil and use it to mark a sheet of leather. Cut out the leather. The leather bracer is now ready to be finished and mounted to an assistive device.